that is lovely. That is really nice. It just warms you up, the old space heater. Cool. Yes, so my house is cold in the winter, and the lovely Mary Hammond, very kindly at Christmas, one of my viewers gave me this little present here, which has a thermometer, a clock, and a hydrometer. And the thermometer was telling me this morning that it was just over 15 degrees centigrade in my house this morning, which is pretty cold. I don't know how accurate that is, but I can tell you it's not ideal and it's not conducive. As you can see, I've got my tweed jacket on, even my bobble hat and a scarf. So I thought, just to warm the place up, I often bring out my space heater, which I actually bought years ago when I had a little workshop when I was working on Snug and Cozy and various things. Anyway, that's another story. It's a propane gas heater, and before anybody says, I know you're supposed to have a lot of ventilation, I have chimneys here. There's a chimney in that room, there's a chimney in that room, there's a chimney in that room, and they all leak a bit, so there's ventilation. My front door isn't brilliant, so that leaks. The back door isn't brilliant, that leaks. There's ventilation in here, believe you me. I don't have a sealed house, and even my windows are pretty old. I do want to replace them, and I am thinking of building my own sash windows at some point. But just to warm up the house from time to time, it is lovely to get the old space heater, but after a while it becomes a bit overpowering, as it is now. So I think I'll turn it off, make a cup of coffee, because there's something else I want to show you. Oh, well, cheers. Looking at the clock, it's nearly time for me to break my fast. As you know, I'm on this fasting. That's very nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some eggs and some bacon from Charlie's Farm Shop. I had it yesterday, and oh blimey, it was lovely. It really, and the bacon, the great thing about the bacon was it didn't have all that horrible white, frothy, whatever it is, the water, that sort of slime that comes out of supermarket bacon. No, this had nothing. It had none of that. And the taste was just sublime, really was. It just, as soon as you had that, you think, I can't go back to supermarket food. Right, I've got this. I'm going to have that shortly, but I want to show you something in some old coffee jars. Welcome to the messy side of my kitchen. I have nuts. I ordered these just at the end of last year, so they've only just arrived. They came yesterday, actually, as I record this. They came in packets in a box from a company. I was going to tell you who it was, but because the packets, a couple of the packets had split, one not badly, but one, all the nuts had just fallen around inside the box. So I was very disappointed with that. So I won't mention who they were, because it may have been just a one-off. So I've got all sorts of nuts in here. I've made up my own mixes. So I bought packets of, one was mixed nuts, one was the red skin peanuts, one was just of sultanas, I think they are. Are they sultanas or raisins? Organic. I was slightly disappointed because they were organic. I can't remember if they're raisins or sultanas now. And then I looked at the ingredients and it said organic raisins, I think they were raisins, and then vegetable oil. And it didn't say that on the website, so I was a bit miffed by that. So I will eat them, but I am trying to avoid those sort of oils. So I'll eat those in small quantities. So I've kept them separately so that I can take them. I'm sure, you know, in the quantities that I'm eating and I'm reducing all of that, I'm sure it's okay, but I was quite particular to see. So the rest of the nuts had no other ingredients other than the nuts themselves. The peanuts, I used to eat the peanuts, you know, salted peanuts, roasted peanuts, and they're delicious, of course, but they're coated and they're cooked in vegetable oils or palm oil or various things. So I've opted now for the red skins, and it's actually the red skin that's good for you, so I'm told. So I'm thrilled to be adding to the protein that I need from some nuts. Now, of course, I'm not going to overdo it on the nuts, because I think that's a very easy thing to start to overdo. I think there's almonds, there's cashews, there's pistachios, there's maca, I can't remember how you pronounce this one, macaramada or something. I said almonds, and walnuts. So good selection. So, you know, they're a nice sort of snack food as well. So I'm going to put a jar in the van, sealed in these Kilner-like jars with the seal. I should think they'd be all right. So instead of biscuits, I can just have a bit of protein before or after a walk with a cup of coffee. Sounds perfect. Right, last little bit of chores to do. I've got to hang up the washing and get that nice and dry, the old sheets. I gather tomorrow is going to be a sunnier day, so a bit like the last video, I'm hoping that I can go and bring some outside and get out of the house a bit and take you out on a walk. So in the next, that's my phone, in the next half of this video, that's what I'm aiming to do. So I'll see you there. It's the following day, and as promised, I am out for a little stroll, and the sun has actually come out. I've come out just north of Stenning, quite close to the Whiston estate actually, and I'm walking on a little path here I've been on before with the lovely Julia. It's just off Spithandle Lane. Those people in the area will know where I mean. And I just thought I wanted to get on a path that wasn't going to be too boggy. There was quite a bit of rainfall last night, so as I suspected, there would be a lot of water just lying on the surface. It's that sort of time of year. So hence trying to find a walk that was out in the countryside that would offer a little bit of relaxation away from everybody else, but also in which the ground was slightly firm. So this is a pathway that Julia and I have walked. I don't think we've done it on video. I've done so many walks in the area, but it's just nice to get out and take in that air, and there is actually some sunshine as well, so that makes all the difference at the moment. I've been so snagged up. So it's about 10:30 the following day. As you know, I'm still on my fast, so I thought it would be quite nice to have today's egg and bacon, which is the last of the egg and bacon. I'm just navigating through a lot of mud here, in the van. And I want to try out, because it's relatively cold, I want to try out to see how this butane gas, these little bottles I've got, to see whether they'll work in the cold, because a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, Richard, they won't work in the cold. It's a gas that turns back into a liquid when it gets too cold," which may well be true. So we'll see. I think the last time I came up this way was, oh hello, there's the wind, was in the time of, well, it must have been May. The bluebells are out. That's when Julia and I came up. I remember now. Everyone had been looking and creeping into one of the Whiston Estate woodlands, which they're not supposed to. We'd parked up, we could see the bluebells, this beautiful mirage of blue that crept low level across the base of this little area of woodland just off Spit Handle Lane, and people were stopping their cars. We were just having a cup of a tea, and I think we made up some soup, and that was one of the rare occasions we went out and didn't do any filming, and people were climbing over the barbed wire and going into the Whiston Estate just to look at and trample over the bluebells. I thought that was just dreadful. Anyway, then we took this walk down this tiny little lane here that I'm on, and we went past another wood which I think is a little further up here, with a path, proper path and access, and you could walk around it, and I mean, I suppose you'd have to know it was there. We just discovered it by osmosis, I guess, but if people took the bother to actually look at the woodland or explore it more, they would have found somewhere where they had permission to go and not ruin those bluebells for everybody else and frighten all the woodland wildlife. I've come into that little woodland that I was talking about just now. This, in May, all round here, bluebells everywhere, and there's a little walk round. Julia and I came here, and we found this, I can't remember the tree, it might have been a beech or a hazel or something. Well, it was quite a big tree actually, and we clambered on it. Might even have been a holly. Yes, I think it was. I think it was this one here, and we just sat on it and clambered up it. Yes, a holly tree, I'm pretty sure. And we marvelled because we could sit there and look at the beautiful bluebells. It's wonderful. I've been looking into a little bit more about my fasting and exercise, because on 2 walks that I've done I felt a little bit not unstable, I was going to say unstable, silly thing to say, I guess just a little lousy or a little weak. And I've worked out now that, of course, what the body is doing, because I've lowered my carbohydrates, although not eliminated them. I'm not doing a keto diet or anything specific, but I'm eating more, I suppose, fat-based foods, and I've cut out sugars. And I understand that what goes on is that you become, I think, fat adapted as opposed to carbohydrate dependent. I think that's how it works. And as the body goes through this change and it's getting used to the slight dietary foods change, and also the fasting length of time that one's doing it, then there is this sort of period in which, when you do a bit of exercise and the body's using up, it's sort of working out, oh, is it carbohydrates I'm trying to use up or fats? It just takes a bit of time to get used to, and it's perfectly normal. Well, that's very reassuring, as you can imagine, because I didn't want to get to a point where I was having say 12 hours without food, then going out on a walk and actually feeling a bit rubbish. So this will all change. And actually I feel so much better. So I must be now, if it's probably about 11ish, I must be about 14 hours without having eaten. And of course if you've got fat adapted, apparently you can carry on walking or exercising on a very sort of simple aerobic exercise like walking for ages, absolute ages, once your body is adjusted to it, which is great news. Obviously you do need to drink, but so yes, it's an interesting concept. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Well, I'm going to carry on with a little bit more walk, then back to the van, because I'm getting hungry, and that bacon and eggs is definitely beckoning. Because of the cold, my mouth is I should have put my hat on. Yeah, my mouth is freezing up a bit, but the sun is shining. It is a beautiful day. Back at the van, and actually the van has warmed up quite sufficient that I don't need my jacket on, which is nice. I'm going to have a cup of coffee first of all. I was given this rather lovely cup here. I think I mentioned it before in a previous video from some viewers of mine, from the Veldhouse farm. It'd be lovely to go and visit their farm and see how they do things down there. Anyway, it's a sort of travel mug, so I can put coffee in there, which I'm going to do, and then, you know, I can have it in the cab as I'm driving and have sips and stuff. I've got my eggs, my bacon. I'm going to fry that up in a second. I've also brought with me some nuts, which I'm going to keep a jar in the van, I think. I hope they won't go off in the cold. I don't know. And I'm going to nibble on these. There's a robin actually just over there. If I turn the camera around, he'll go. I wonder if I could throw him a couple of nuts. Hold on a minute. Let's just see. Yeah, through the nuts he flew away. Anyway, once the coffee is done, I'm going to get the eggs and bacon going. Right, let's get the bacon on. Comes in this little pouch. Here we go. I've got this lovely little dinky frying pan. I actually do have some oil. It doesn't sit on there terribly well, but my oil is so cold that it's frozen over, so probably not going to use that. So hopefully there's enough oil in the bacon to do its own thing. There's only just enough space for it, but that is going to be great. So that's the bacon on. Couple of eggs. Probably get those just about in once the bacon is sorted out. So this is a nice little test, really. It's the first time I've done egg and bacon in the van. I've had the van a year. Can you believe it? Here we go. It's frying up lovely. One of the things I didn't realise is I haven't got a spatula thing for eggs. I thought, oh wait a minute, I have got one. There we go. So I managed to get an egg in. There we go. My bacon, it was very difficult to cook it as nicely as I can at home, but it does look very nice. Because it's such a small little thing, I haven't got any black pepper to hand actually, but never mind. I'm just going to have the bacon as it is first, whilst the egg is cooking, and I shall flip that. Oh, Actually, even with the burnt, a little bit of carbon on now, it's only the bacon burnt. It's very tasty. This is... I'm not very well organised. That's what I've realised in the van. I need to get more organised. I'm sorry, I know some people don't like it when I'm eating. And the other thing is, it's not so easy to film all the independent shots. I'm putting my egg upside down so I can cook the middle bit. I don't like it. I don't mind it runny. I don't like it snotty. And I don't like the white not cooked, you know. Anyway, and let's try some of this coffee because I haven't tried my coffee yet. Still hot. That's lovely. This is a great cup. Really good. This is... I think the egg is done now. So let's put that on the plate. I haven't put my table up. Here we go. Look at that. I've got to rethink my table because when the table is up, it's sort of a bit in the way when you're trying to access the cupboard space. So that's a shame. Oh, the bacon, really lovely. I've only done one egg so far. I might have the other egg later on. So this is me breaking the fast. About 11:30, something like that. I haven't felt queasy today, so I think my body is getting used to this little bit of exercise, eating a bit later. I think it's working well, and if I keep it up, it will be so much better. And also, of course, I haven't had any wheat, haven't had any bread, even though my son, I gave both my sons as a Christmas present a bread maker, and Billy, I'm not sure if Stanley's used his, but Billy has used his, and he's on his second loaf, and he said it smells delicious, it tastes delicious, and he said, and it was easy using the machine, he said no more commercial bread. And although I've given up bread, and I know a few people had commented, says, oh, here's the irony, you've given up bread, but you gave your sons a bread making machine. And my answer to that was quite simply, at that point I hadn't given up bread, for one thing. But secondly, they're not giving up bread. And thirdly, if they are going to eat bread, they may as well make homemade bread where they've got more control of the ingredients, so there's no preservatives and other additives in there, so that they remain really healthy as you know, as they want to be. So I think it's absolutely brilliant that he is chuffed. Cheers. Anyway, I'm going to finish my dinner. Yeah, it's kind of dinner or brunch. My fast, breaking of the fast. It's you know, break fast. People who make a thing of it, it's a bit of a laugh. But anyway, I'm going to finish this, and of course I need to get back and edit up the whole video so that you've got it to watch. This has been... oh, there's my lights popped off. This is... it's alright. I've got the other lights. Just here. There we go. And I will catch up with you next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, and if you fancy subscribing and becoming a patron, that would be great. It really helps to keep this channel alive. Find out about that at baldexplorer.com. Thank you so much. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time, hopefully in more great weather, out and about, exploring. Take care, bye-bye. This is just lovely. Absolutely lovely.